creates a crowd.
Alright, so we're live for Fireside Chat number 73, I believe. I just checked, and yet I forgot already. I think it's 73, yep. Number 73. And as far as stuff going on this week, not a lot that I've been doing. Trying to think. Oh, well, Guild Wars 2, we got a new guild hall, which was cool. It was fun to get. We've kind of got a few different people playing Guild Wars 2, but the one problem with getting a guild hall is there's kind of a few criteria you got to be met. You got to have a max level character. You got to own the most recent expansion, and also it helps. I mean, it's challenging just to get the guild hall because you have to basically complete like a little mini dungeon type thing as well, but everything pretty much went off without a hitch. We wound up, we were waiting around a bit, but we wound up getting 5 people together. It was me, Lance, Manny, Lamas, and Foosfern. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. We got it, so that was cool. We've still got more stuff to work on in Guild Wars. We're trying to get an arena so we can have PvP events, that kind of stuff too. Gladiators Guild has been wanting to do that, to host events on other games besides League. So hoping in Guild Wars 2 we can get that set up. That would be cool. Other than that, not too much. I do need to make the calendar for September. I haven't heard from Les, but I'm thinking I'm just taking it over for now, which I'm fine with. So I'll probably put that up, maybe something like the 31st ish. Probably is when I'll put it together. Since we have like the first week of September on this calendar already, should be pretty seamless. So I'll do that. I've also got. I'm working on some handbook updates still. I kind of honestly I lost. I've been doing a couple of updates lately, so I kind of lost track of what draft is up there right now. I think I have all the Blitzkrieg changes accounted for with the Agarn's return and everything like that is all covered in there, but there's some other stuff I'm messing with. A little bit. I'm shortening it in a way. What I'm doing is I'm pulling some stuff out like the criteria for making a house and family. I'm just going to pull that out of the handbook and then just have a document on the forums there listing that the same way there's, I think I mentioned this last week, the same way that there's a warband application thing there with criteria for that. Same deal. So I'm going to be doing that. I'm also going to be making a much more detailed thing. I was actually reading back something that Moscow wrote a long time ago. He had a very long forum and WA behavior rules thing, which I kind of basically read through like some years ago and was like, this doesn't really apply anymore. Got rid of it, but I was reading through it again, and I thought it would be actually maybe a good idea to write a new one of those. Not probably as long as his. His is pretty long, like I don't know, 15 pages or something like that.
Moscow
Um,
didn't know how to talk.
yeah. But I thought that it would make more sense to have the most of the rules. So there's going to be the pocket guide in our rules, which is going to have that, and then also to have a elaboration with a lot more details on that, because I think most of the officers will be aware of this as well. That a lot of the drama, I mean, probably ever in the clan really, but a lot of it is there's not a lot of drama about like, oh, how are we writing stories, or drama about like uh, something else like the who's leading a warband. I don't know. Most of the drama is about like the first page of the handbook, basically. I find, because generally it's easy to disagree on it because it is very vague. When you write something like "be respectful to people," that can mean a billion different things. So I think it's a good idea to have an initiative where there's going to be a lot more specific stuff. And while it's hard to account for everything, I think going into more detail is good. But at the same time, I don't want to make the handbook any more lengthy than it already is. So my thing is putting that in the forums. And that's actually a bit linked to the forum registration being a requirement for warriors and stuff, is because as much as we don't use the forums like we used to, I think they're a really good place to store like stories and information and stuff like that. And I think there's like right now there's a lot of really useful stuff accessed via the forums. Some of it's on Discord too, but for example, if you want to browse like the codex on Uko, I would say it's generally easier on the forums in most ways because it's all categorized and you can find everything there and open up a bunch of tabs or whatever you want to look into. And that's just one example, but I think there's a lot of stuff. If you look in the monolith on the forum, that's pretty much the subforum where I've been concentrating all of the official documents and stuff like that. I've been throwing that all in the monolith, so basically everything in there is like important, I would say, in including stuff like lineage charts, like house information. Oh, that is one thing I do need to update. There's a house information thread in there that I need to add. I believe House Thief and House Blitzkrieg too. So that's something that needs to happen. But yeah, I'm gonna be like I said, I'm gonna be adding more to that, adding some stuff about behavior, elaborating on rules, some stuff like that, which is all just kind of in my head right now. A lot of it hasn't really been written down, but I'm hoping to put that down and yeah, hopefully elaborate on stuff, make it more specific, etc. Etc. Rather, and I think yeah, that's about it. I believe that I'm working on. I know I've been talking about a couple other background things like codex updates, maybe even more stories, and some other stuff, some more markboard updates, that kind of thing. But all that is kind of in the background for me right now. Is more of like not as important, honestly, as like rule stuff and clan organization. But hopefully that will be something that I and the Scribes Guild, or the Historians Guild now, can get to in the future. Um, One other thing, we do have the Festival of Selja coming up in 2 days. Now the approach with these House Commander festivals. There's four of them a year. The approach lately has been sometimes they're just skipped. Basically, it's kind of just decided. Sometimes they just aren't celebrated. They're just sort of observed. So we'll see if anything happens, but I will probably put up something like a Google form, a little 5-question quiz or something like that. Just some little method for people who don't have the mark for them to earn it. And I am kind of sort of doing it now where if you celebrate the festival multiple years in a row, you get a Roman numeral for the number of times on top of the mark. Is how I've been kind of doing it. I know it's not totally clear on the mark board. That's another thing on my to-do list is to update that with descriptions describing what the Roman numerals mean. But yeah, that is a thing that will be happening this Saturday, the 31st. Like I said, I haven't heard anything from House Commander, so I don't think we're gonna have any big celebrations or anything like that. But I'll probably make an announcement or something, and yeah, like I said, just put together some little thing just so people can get that mark if you're a completionist gunning for all the marks, basically. But yeah, I think that's everything that comes to mind. As always, sometimes there may be some things slip in my mind, but yeah, I think that's about all I've got. So I will open up anybody who has any questions or anything they want to bring up, announcements, anything like that.
Kuzi here. The Remnant is an excellent game, and you should all buy it. It's amazing. Best $40 ever.
Paid for by Remnant developers.
Unfortunately, not. I wish.
Well, cool. Always cool to hear about new games. I know World of Warcraft's been. I've seen some rumblings there. People getting long queue times, but getting into game. I've seen some posts there. So that looks fun. I've always I kind of like WoW, like following it, but I haven't felt like paying the subscription fee in the past. Is probably the one caveat, but
Yeah, I've like never played it. I was on some private server for all of like an hour, and that was it.
uh,
Yeah, I've also never played WoW.
I'm trying to remember. Is it Incendius? Is that the name of the server you guys are on?
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Incendious Horde. We were on Thanos, but due to the large Brazilian population and with the fact that it is a language barrier as they speak Portuguese, it would be too difficult for late game things. We decided to move.
Seems fair. I gotta admit, Incendius sounds cooler to me anyway. But cool, good to know there. Server. Anybody have anything else they did want to bring up?
Yep. Um, just to give you all a heads up, be on the lookout in the next couple weeks for the announcement of this year's Secret Odin event. If you do not know, sorry, my bird is chirping. If you do not know what Secret Odin is, it is our version of Secret Santa, where you sign up and you can exchange gifts, either physical gifts or online gifts, up to you. And yeah, just be on the lookout for that. In the past, the suggested amount was, $20 in time or investment. So, you don't necessarily have to buy something. You can create something. Just make sure, that a good amount of effort is put into the item. And, it's a great time for everyone on winter solstice. We come together um, and we get together in channel and open our gifts and try to figure out who gave us what if they chose not to reveal themselves. So typically you have until about the beginning of November to sign up. You get within a couple days after that, you receive the person that you are giving your gift to. So yeah, be on the lookout for that.
Rad, are we still doing the split gift pools to divide and conquer?
Yeah, because I can't do it by myself. I want to participate.
Okay. I mean, I don't assume, but I'm down to do it again if you need the help.
Okay.
But yeah, no, guys, it's a blast trying to guess who got each person what and what it's gonna be. I mean, half the fun is just finding that perfect gift. The other half is like being blindsided by something you never expected, to get. Let alone knowing who got it for you. So I have to say there were a lot of good ones and a lot of surprises as well last year. So hopefully we can make this another good event.
Maybe as part of the sign up, you can include like I don't know, shirt sizes or something, because I got some really decent ideas for shirts.
Yeah. So I will actually put that in the suggested, because in the form, you can tell you can give your physical address if you want, your email address, and you give a few ideas. I'll probably put this year, because there was a lot of people asking each other shirt sizes and such. I'll probably put this year, like, maybe include a shirt size. I usually say favorite color, favorite video game, etc. I think tell my bird's very excited. I don't know if you guys can hear him, but
Excited for Secret Oath?
I thought this was Discord, not Twitter.
he liked that joke. But yeah, so I'll put that as a suggestions, I guess you could say.
Cool. Well, yeah, I think that should be super fun. It was definitely a lot of fun last year. Cool. Well, does anybody have anything else they wanted to bring up?
Well, I would like to thank anyone who attended the last Friggs Minecraft night. We didn't get too much work done around spawn. I'm not sure if we discussed it last week, but I know we got some work done. I know Dryout did a bunch of work on a wall, and I think is a fort. We're also starting to plug a bit more work into that starting village. Although I think someone killed all the villagers, I'm not sure.
No, okay. The final villager was killed by some zombies. I witnessed it.
Oh no, the blacksmith died.
Yeah, he did. But the wall's pretty much finished. There's literally like about 20 more blocks that needs to be added to it, and I've started putting some work into the paths, so they're pretty much all dug out.
Oh, is there a Minecraft night tomorrow? I wasn't sure if that was a weekly thing.
September 6th, so every other week.
Okay, I'll fix the calendar.
Even though there's probably going to be people playing tomorrow, it's just the designated time as every other week.
God, make a note here.
I never got whitelisted on the server.
It's not the main WA server, it's the Frig server. It's completely vanilla, as opposed to the main WA server has a few like MCMMO and a couple other things that make it a bit different than regular.
Couple plugins.
Yeah, if you grind that out quite a bit, it's quite overpowered.
Vest, I know we announced the Guild Wars 2 night and like the new hall and that, but are there any other upcoming events for that?
For Guild Wars 2 specifically?
Yeah, anything related to the clan or Guild Wars, like the game, sponsored. Anything you
Well, so we have Guild Wars 2 night. I mean, every Sunday night at 6 p.m. Pacific time. So yeah, the plan is to have that again this week. But I think as far as like specific stuff in the itinerary for it, probably we'll be doing PvP because we need a lot of the PvP potions you get from doing your daily PvP. So I imagine that could be it, but we'll probably just kind of figure it out when the time comes, or the day of, something like that. Since we kind of have I actually have a thread on the Guild Wars 2 subforum as well that lists kind of a pool of activities for us that we've done in the past or that we could do. So we'll probably just pick from that based on who shows up and what people want to do. But yeah, nothing
I
as
know.
specific as
Sorry.
nothing as specific as
Okay.
getting a guild hall. Yeah.
I'll have to check that link out.
I know. At least I specifically
Manny,
need
we can't
mastery
hear you.
points, but I'm not Manny.
No, Manny was talking, but he was very quiet.
Yeah, he sounded like he was like 3.5 miles away from his phone.
Oh.
What were you saying,
Anyway,
comrade? You were saying
yeah.
mastery points?
Yeah. Central Tyria mastery points.
Ah, yeah, we can definitely look at getting those.
A bunch of them are achievement related, and a bunch of those achievements are like story, beat a boss, or go through a certain thing in a certain amount of time, and I alone can't do that.
So
yeah,
that would be a good group activity,
Yeah.
maybe.
most of those are obscenely hard to get. There's a lot of much easier ones that we could look at picking up, like
Yeah, but I've gotten a bunch of the easier ones.
well, because I know I have all of the Central Tyria mastery, everything, and I didn't do like a bunch of the annoying story ones that are like take forever to do. So I think there's definitely some that we could find that are much easier. I'd have to take a look at the
Alright.
list again. It's been a while, but we'll see. But we can definitely find a way to get to the mastery points for sure.
Alright.
Cool. Well, if I'm not doing any D&D, I definitely help out with the PvP stuff. I know I was having an issue with like banking and donating like mats and gold because I don't have the expansions. I do plan on getting them if they're on sale. I'll probably just pick them both up at the same time if they're discounted. Just because I can say, here you go, take my money. Like I'm literally not doing anything with it. Just clear out the bank, clear out the mats. I don't even know what you need. Just take what you need, upgrade the hall. It's just a matter of getting it to you. I know it was sort of a surprise when I'm like, just take my money, and the game wouldn't let me, transfer it. So unfortunate. I'll be on the lookout. I know for a sale.
Sounds good. Yeah, I mean, there's no like you have to donate to the guild or anything, but
Yeah.
Oh, of course not. Yeah, I just want to because if it saves you guys time, then you can get to the next thing. I don't want you just mindlessly grinding. Like that's no. I just sort of passively harvest things as I go. So if I have the mats or just the coin, insert Khajiit joke here.
So is Fireside technically over?
Nope, we're still going.
not
Well,
just
Oh,
yet.
okay.
But I think we probably are winding down here. I'll probably just throw it out. Anybody have any closing stuff that came to mind? Anything like that?
Am I audible now?
yes,
Yes.
a little bit.
There we
Okay.
go.
Yes.
So actually, Vest, I did want to ask before I bring this up. Could I potentially, perhaps bring up the thing that you and Kuzi and I were talking about for a little while there, the war bands and such?
Honestly, I'd
Do we
rather
need
talk
to-
about in the all thing possibly. That was just like a rant. I've had some random ideas for warbands to improve activity, and I feel like none of it is materialized enough that I'd really want to dig into it on Fireside just yet. I kind of realized some problems with the idea that I had before I even really got off the drawing board as well. So I might just shelve that. I'm not sure, but Yeah, I'll probably bring it up in all thing or something like that before, if I feel like it could work anyway in the future.
Okay, cool. Copy that. Then I don't really necessarily have anything other than Guild Wars 2 players. Guys, let's do our chores.
Let's do our what?
Our chores. We all need to get those PvP potions. So
But it's
Oh yeah.
PvP.
what's your point?
Just mute chat and just run around until you win, and then don't play it. That's all you have to do.
You don't even need to mute chat. Just mute the Asura. 'Cause they're the toxic ones.
Oh yikes!
That will get you about 80% of the way there. No offense to Lance. All right. Well, anybody? It sounds like we're kind of winding down here. I'll go ahead and I think sign off for this fireside chat. Thanks to everyone for showing up. Thanks to everyone watching the VOD or watching live. This was fireside chat number 73. We'll be back next week, standard time, 5 p.m. Pacific, for number 74. So see everybody then.